Hey, hello everyone. Just giving a quick update. I'm doing good. I'm appreciative of all the people that have been checking in on me. I'm appreciative of everyone that's been making sure I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I've had to do a lot of thinking this month so far. I've had to process through a lot of things, and I am a work in progress. I am somebody who is going to make mistakes. I'm somebody who's made mistakes, and I'm somebody who's going to continue to make mistakes whether I want to or not. I'm human. I make mistakes, but the best thing I can do for those mistakes is just not let them define me for who I am as a person now. I've been on the internet for quite some time. I've been on the internet since I was a young girl. I was 13, I think, 13 or 14 when I made my first YouTube account. That's no longer active, by the way. Um, I can admit I don't always approach situations the way they need to be approached. I can admit that I do have a lot of deep seated anger issues. These are things that I'm working through. These are things that I wished I knew sooner about myself. I wished I could fix about myself, but it's not too late. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to have flaws. I'm going to have moments where I look stupid. I'm going to have moments where I look not like myself. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to admit when you're wrong. It's okay to apologize. It's okay. It's okay to get yourself back up and prove everyone who, like, the best thing you can do for people who don't care for you, never will care for you, never will see it for you, is to just prove them wrong. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm a work in progress and I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things that don't make sense, that in the moment make sense, but don't make sense in retrospect. I'm going to do a lot of awful things that part of growing up is realizing there are things you can't take back. Part of growing up is realizing that there are things you can't change about people. You can try your hardest to try and make somebody be by your side, but they can only do that if they want to. I'm not going to go into any details about any situation because that's not what this is for. This is a self reflection on what I want to do going forward. When I get a job and get back on my feet, I'm going to turn my life around because it's not too late. I made mistakes in my past, some of those mistakes that I can't walk back from, some of those mistakes that I can't take back even if I wanted to. But I gotta actually change. I gotta actually put the effort to change. I have a mental health appointment coming up really soon, and that's gonna be one of the start to my changes. I am not blaming this for any action that I've done recently. I am saying I only just recently discovered I have bipolar disorder. I want to say roughly about last year or the year before, like one of those two. I discovered it. And it's been a trait of mine that explained a lot of my actions, explained a lot of the ways that I think, but nothing, there's no medical condition in the world that'll excuse the way I've approached certain things. And I can admit that I haven't always approached situations the way that they should have. I can say that I do get paranoid. I do get scared. I do get anxiety. I do overthink a lot of things. And sometimes that overthinking can lead to catastrophic effects. I push people away when they're the people that are trying to help me. I push people away when they're trying to be there for me, when they're trying to be there for me, even throughout all my craziness. And these are traits I'm trying to learn not to do. I've been so guarded my whole life. I feel like I shut down a lot these days. I feel like my brain shuts down a lot. I find myself I find myself lost, unsure of what to do. And maybe I do need to read people better than I can, but I can only do what I can do. I've made mistakes, and some of those mistakes I can't come back from, but I'm not going to let those mistakes define who I am as a person today. Nobody, doesn't matter what the mistake is, nobody needs to be defined by something they did 5, 6, 10 years ago. Because that's the part of change is you can't expect someone to change if you don't even give them a chance to change. And sometimes you do give them a chance. And sometimes they don't change that second. But it doesn't mean that they can't change in the future. Baby steps are okay for everybody. There are people in this world who can change and reintegrate back into society. I've seen people who have committed actual cold blooded murder that have been released from prison that no longer have that urge to kill, that no longer have those same vibes, and that are deeply, deeply regretful of their actions. People fuck up. And sometimes it takes that fuck up to realize what you're doing is wrong. I'm not going to say any names, but you know who you are. To the people that fit in any of these descriptions, I am sorry that I lost control of my emotions. I am sorry that I drug something out longer than it needed to be drug out. I am sorry that I haven't always had the best reactions or responses to a situation. I'm sorry that I'm not always the best at reading a room. I am sorry that I'm not always good at picking up on tone. I am sorry that I'm not always the best. I'm not always the best at reading when I need to stop. I'm sorry for all of it. I'm sorry I'm a mess. I'm sorry I'm childish. I'm sorry I've been acting selfish. I'm sorry that I've been acting, quite frankly, not like myself at all. I'm sorry I didn't look at it from your perspective. I'm sorry I didn't give you the space that you needed. I'm sorry that I said so many awful things to you that I can't take back. I'm sorry for the passive aggression. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not listening. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being so needy. I'm sorry for everything. I can't take anything back. And this is the consequence to all of that. And that's okay. Everything that's happened to me happened for a reason. We can go back and forth on who's right and who's wrong. It doesn't make any difference. I'm a work in progress. I'm somebody who, I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes going forward. I'm probably going to be very stubborn to the end. And that's another thing I'd like to apologize for, is how stubborn I've been to listen, how stubborn I've been to understand, how stubborn I've been to just want things done a certain way and not understanding why that couldn't be done that certain way. I realize that there are certain people I'm probably never going to speak to again. But for the people that this may apply to, I'm open. My DMs are open. I'm aware that there are certain people who may see this video when it gets uploaded. I'm aware that there are certain people who may see what I'm saying here. And to those specific people, I'm sorry. I'm just going to continue to grow, do what I need to do. I'm not going to let what happened in my past define who I am as a person today. So I'm going to grow. I'm going to focus on me, focus on getting a job, practice my voice acting. Hopefully, I can eventually land a voice acting gig one of these days. And I have hope. I've been told I have a good voice range, and I'm going to continue to do that, work on myself until I'm in a better mental state. Right now, my brain feels fuzzy and empty, but I'm hoping that I can eventually get back to my usual happy, cheery self. And I have to work on that. And I'm going to continue to work on that. And this is Kunimitsu 877 signing out.